It's your girl 30 here with the giant hair. Yeah, I'm kind of rocking the giant hair today. I don't know. But either or, I'm loving my giant hair. And this is my mini Q&A. I have lost track because I've done so many of these. Probably left 47, 46. I don't know. I'll find out. And I'll actually have the correct number on the title page. But right now, guys, we are getting to this Q&A. And I actually have a lot of Twitter questions, and I'm really impressed with you guys, and I appreciate you guys sending me Twitter questions because I'm trying to get the whole Twitter thing going. But my first set of questions actually comes from Mr. Griffith. I love this guy. If anybody hasn't checked out his channel, please do. He has probably the best point of view that I've ever heard of anyone. I mean, not only that, he's not particularly biased when it comes to his wrestling point of views. Unless it's completely crazy, then you're gonna definitely hear him say something. And I mean, this guy is amazing, so please check out his channel. But let's get started with the questions that he had for me. His first question for me is, what do you think of WWE's recent decision to start showing footage of Chris Benoit with the advisory? Honestly, despite what Chris Benoit did, and I'm not condoning what he did. Despite what he did, the guy had an incredible career. And I'm sorry, one of the most touching moments that I can ever remember as a wrestling fan was when he and Eddie Guerrero won the championship belts at the exact same time. I'm sorry, that was a very touching moment. And regardless of what he did, he still had a really great career. And I don't think that people should forget how great he was before the tragedy that he took part in, before the heinous act that he did. I think people should remember the great, the great career that he had prior to that. And that's how I personally feel about it. It doesn't change how I feel personally about Chris Benoit. I don't know the guy. I don't accept what he did. I think what he did was heinous, but the guy had a great career, and I'm not going to deny that. But that's a great question, man. Your second question for me is, had they had done AJ versus Eve at WrestleMania 29 like they reportedly planned, would this have made AJ a big face since Eve was over as a heel? I don't know. It could be. I mean, AJ actually did start off as a face at first, but she was more of a victim than a face. And yeah, I would really think that it wouldn't make her a huge face, but it would make her a face. And honestly, Eve was like a triple threat. She could be a face and a heel and be able to pull it both off and have you guys both love her and hate her at the same time. But honestly, I don't think that it will pretty much put AJ over completely as a face. She's more over now as a heel than she is a face. And even if Eve was actually, even if they did go against each other, honestly, I couldn't see her completely as a face. I just couldn't personally. But that's because we're so used to her seeing her as a heel. But I guess, yeah, I mean, in that situation, in that context, if that actually did happen, then yes, she'd be way over as a face. I don't see it, but yeah, I agree. And I guess I took the long way around, but yeah, I really do feel you on that. Your third question for me is, I'm thinking that it is a third question. Besides the recent Man of Steel and the Dark Knight trilogy, why do you think DC Comics has had so much trouble on the big screen? Honestly, it's the actors. It's all about the actors. If you really do want to portray a comic book or a video game really well, you need to have an actor that best represents that character. For example, I know this has nothing to do with DC Comics, but I'll give an example for that later on. But I'm saying for video games, Angelina Jolie best represented Lara Croft, and that's why it did so well for the first movie that came out. It did really, really well, and it was really, really good and had a great soundtrack. But as for DC Comics, okay, no one, in my humble opinion, can replace Christopher Reeve. And I think that's why, in my opinion, that's why Man of Steel and all the ones before has done so bad. Because everybody is reminiscent of Christopher Reeve and nobody can take that role from him. I'm sorry. Batman can be replaced from every Tom, Dick, or Harry that comes on the screen as long as they have a dark voice and a sinister attitude, in my opinion. But no one can replace Superman. It's all about the actors. It's whether or not that actor best represents that character. And so far, yeah, they kind of fell short. But it's really difficult to find an actor that can fill a really big actor's shoes like Christopher Reeve. But as Batman, there were many greats. You have to be dark. You will literally have to be dark in order to have it be a good Batman. But then they have Ben Affleck as Batman, so yeah, let's see how that works. But great question, man. Great question. Okay, the next set of questions on Twitter comes from Kenneth Cook. Which WWE superstar and diva do you think will stand out in 2014? Wow. Okay, superstar. It's kind of difficult to say, but I will, at this moment, right now there's really not one that can actually stick out. The only one that kind of sticks out for me is, I can't believe I forgot his name. I love this guy. He's actually with R-Truth. He's out there all the time, and for some reason I just had a brain block. But that guy. If you guys know the guy's name, because for some reason I have a brain block, just leave his name in the comment section below. I can't remember his name for right now. But him and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is starting to be pushed really, really strongly. And mostly, in my opinion, it's because of the fact that he happens to be The Rock's cousin. That's a huge help. But also, he has that look. He has that superstar, in-your-face, powerhouse kind of look. I just hope they don't turn him face, and I hope they keep him as either an anti-hero. No, not an anti-hero. Maybe a heel. I don't know. He could pull off both. I don't know. Maybe he could pull off being a face, but a quiet face, like how Ryback was. When Ryback didn't speak to anybody. If he was a quiet face, then maybe he'll be able to pull that off. Diva. It's a tie, but well, more than likely, I would say Eva Marie. And the reason why I'm saving Eva Marie is because she has the huge potential to be a great heel. She just got to get over that fear, that stage fright of going out there and messing up. If she gets over that, then she'll be a great heel, and she'll be able to hone her craft better. I mean, that's how I personally see it. But yeah, I'm not going to go into the Bella Twins. They've been out there for too long. The Funkadactyls are great, but honestly, I see Eva Marie as being the seriously breakout super diva. Super diva heel. I really do see that right now. But yeah, great question, man. Good grief, I'm just losing my voice today. The next set of questions actually comes from Largest85. Do you think NJ looks like that chick, Emily Van Camp from the ABC show Revenge? I wouldn't know. I don't really watch Revenge, but I'm probably going to go back and actually see if I can find a picture of her, but I'm doubting it. I'm kind of doubting it. How has your girl Amanda Bynes been doing lately? Okay. Honestly, I haven't heard anything about Amanda Bynes. She's probably tired of being in the spotlight. People are getting tired of her. So they pretty much moved on. I hope she moves on. But honestly, great questions, man. Honestly, great questions. If you guys have any other questions that you want to send me, by all means, you can send it to me via Twitter. I'm trying to get my Facebook, my YouTube inbox together, and they kind of mix things up for me. But my final set of questions actually comes from via YouTube, and this comes from Final Limits. Dude, you are my biggest supporter. You are awesome, seriously. And you sent me a lot. So I'm going to answer them the best of my ability. Have you ever watched the movie The Wrestler? No, but honestly, I heard it was a great movie, and the fact that it was nominated for an Oscar shows me that that was going to be awesome. And the WWE was all behind it. And I really do want to sit down and watch it. I heard it was a great, great movie. AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. Would you like to see that? It would be interesting. I'm not going to lie. It really would be interesting. I would love to see that. What year did you graduate from high school? 1998. That was a long time ago. But yes, I graduated in 1998 from high school. Did you ever go to college? Actually, I did. And yeah, let me show you something real quick. I went to so many schools at the time because I absolutely had no idea what I was going to do, and I was bouncing from either a university to state to here, there, and everywhere. And I finally got my associates, and here you go. I got it framed, and yeah, it's right here, man, right here. I actually do have a degree. It's an associate's, which means that I pretty much, if I want to get a bachelor's degree in the States, it will probably take me about 2 years to 4 years to get it. So if I have the money and I actually know what I want to go back for, I can go back for it. It'll take me 2 years, take me half the time, which is even better. But right now, I really don't have any interest in going back. It's just trying to work and go to school is a really difficult task. And unless you're really gung-ho about doing it and you can balance your life without burning yourself out, by all means do it. What is your favorite Smooth McGroove video? I love Smooth McGroove. Honestly, my favorite video is Chemical Plant. Like, seriously, when he did Chemical Plant from Sonic 2, that was my most favorite. How did you discover Smooth McGroove? Honestly, I actually came across him. I think that somebody actually had Smooth McGroove on their page, and I can't remember who it was on my Facebook page, but they actually had it, and I clicked on it. It was awesome. I think it was Tom Girl that actually told me about him, but I actually watched the Chemical Plant video, and then he came out with the Moon from DuckTales. I love that game, and that music is phenomenal. The guy is a superstar, in my opinion. He is awesome. Okay, what did you do on New Year's Eve? And did you get wasted to the point where you puked your brains out like I did? No. Honestly, I was off. I was actually off on New Year's Eve. I was just in bed. And I guess because I had been out for the last 3 years from every New Year's Eve. I've been out many times for New Year's Eve, and I just been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Not a big deal for me. I actually went to bed. I woke up at 2 a.m. and it was 2014. Didn't really care. That's just me. Have you ever watched the Mexican promotion AAA? Honestly, I really haven't. But that is something I'm probably going to look into. Thoughts on X-Pac? The guy was great in his heyday. He was great when he was in DX. But he just went downhill from there. I had no idea he was engaged to China. But I had no idea how abusive he was either. But wherever he is, I hope he's well. Okay, thoughts on when Undertaker threw Mankind off to the top of the cell and to the announcers at King of the Ring 1998. That was probably the most phenomenal match I have ever seen in my life. Unfortunately, it set the standard to what we expect Hell in a Cell matches to be. And now, with the PG era and all, we're never going to see anything like that ever again. There are moments when we literally chant and just hope somehow that the bottom part of that cell will collapse and it will fall straight through like Mankind did. But that will never happen. So I'm happy they actually are getting rid of that pay-per-view as well as Hell in a Cell, because nobody will nobody will trump that ever again. Not with the PG era being around. But guys, thank you so much for sending me those questions. If you have any other questions for me, by all means, send it to me via YouTube or send it to me via Twitter. And guys, that's it for my Q&A. This Snitch Girl 30 signing off. Peace out, guys. Later.